Hello, composition students. This video is going to cover TRE, or the basic argument structure. Depending which level of composition you are currently in, we will be talking about argument structures throughout the semester, but you can consider this an introduction or possibly a review. TRE is an acronym representing thesis, reasons, and evidence. TRE is a basic argument structure, a claim supported by reasons, also known as key points or main points, and evidence to support those reasons. We've already talked about how all elements of the rhetorical triangle are connected. When considering any one element, such as purpose, you are also considering all the other elements. Who was the author's intended audience? Was the author successful in their purpose? And so on. Similarly, thesis, reasons, and evidence are all linked. When one element is missing or unclearly stated, the other elements suffer, and therefore so does your overall text, in this case, argument. The thesis is a statement, not a question. It is clear and direct. You can support it with reasons, which are then supported by evidence. It is not an opinion, so avoid I think, I believe, I feel. The use of first person I can be appropriate in an argument, and we'll talk about that at a later time in the course. But typically it should be used sparingly, strategically, and only as a supplement to the argument itself. Nothing about your argument should be based in your own opinions. Reasons support that thesis. Again, they are also called key points or main points. They can usually be framed as because statements, and I'll emphasize that in later slides. Evidence is any information or data which can expand upon, clarify, and or demonstrate the reasons. These are often numbers, quotations, charts, anecdotes, and so on. Again, no opinions. Remember that this is a formal researched argument that we're working on, not an op-ed or another genre. And you must cite all evidence. Anytime that you have learned something or thought something in response to another source that you want to incorporate into your paper, you must credit where those ideas came from. This chart is going to help us illustrate the connections between thesis, reasons, and evidence. For the purpose of an illustration, we're going to go with something kind of silly, kind of fun, a thesis that donuts are the best breakfast for busy college students. Now, I've given you some evidence, and the instructions here on the side say, in pods, based on the thesis and evidence provided, determine possible reasons. In a face-to-face class, I would have you in groups, looking at the thesis, looking at the evidence, discussing what you think the reasons would be. For this video, I recommend that you pause just for a minute or two and do this individually. And in the next slide, I will go over some of the answers. So again, we have thesis. Donuts are the best breakfast for busy college students. That first reason, you can buy them at most coffee shops. You can buy them at most grocery stores. You can get them in dining halls on campus. Reason 2, they only weigh a few ounces each. They come in small boxes. Reason 3, they're excuse me. Reason 3, they're $7.99 for a dozen at Lamar's. They're 75 cents at Safeway, and they're $1.70 at Starbucks. So if you haven't already, please pause the video, do a little thinking, and then we'll progress. Donuts are the best breakfast for busy college students because they're widely and easily available. Notice that I've emphasized that because, which is returning to the idea that you can always frame your reason as a because, which extends from that thesis. Reason number two, because they're portable, right? Only a few ounces each, small boxes. And reason three, because they're cheap, $7.99 for a dozen. So why would I ask you to determine the missing reasons given the thesis and evidence? What might be the purpose of such an activity? The idea is that, similar to the rhetorical situation, whenever you are not considering an element, the other elements will suffer. Imagine if we think of T.R.E. as a tree, right? And maybe the thesis is the trunk, reasons are branches, and then the evidence is leaves. If we take away the branches, we're missing a part of the tree. So within your argument, if you are giving your audience a claim, you're giving your audience evidence, but you're not giving them clearly articulated reasons, you're asking them to do a lot more work. And some audiences won't be willing to do that work. If they are missing too many pieces, they will move on, they will stop listening, and you will ultimately not succeed in your argument. So, depending on the course that you are in, you will likely have a follow-up assignment to this. So please check Canvas for any additional instructions. And please reach out if you have any questions. Thank you for watching.